back. Oh, my mic. Sorry. Wow, is it my first day on the job? I guess so. I was nervous here is what it does. I'm looking around at everything but my mic. Anyway, let's try this intro one more time. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Jay Stash. I am back at it again in Fan Expo Cleveland, live from the green room section with, of course, nothing but the greatest talent that we've got here. We've seen a lot of great people today. And, of course, you know we had to round out the day with Leslie, who took the time to come here. Is that okay if I call you by just your first name?
That's fine.
But here we are, of course. You know him as Stanley on The Office. Here I know him as Leslie now. We just got a chance to meet. And Leslie, how's the con season treating you?
So far, so good.
So far, so good. First con, first day?
First con, first day. Well, not first con, but first day of
this
one.
year, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah. The schedule can get wild, right? One after the other.
Yes.
How's the lines coming in? You got a lot of people coming in today?
They're coming in.
It is, right?
Yeah.
Little by little.
Slowly but surely.
Slowly but surely. Now, I had the pleasure of sitting with some other guests from the office today, and I mean, all of you guys have such great things to say about each other. You know, one of my main questions is working so long with other people on the cast, do you feel like you guys kind of sort of became a family and you look forward to it every day?
Well, you know, you start working with people for 9 years and they become a part of your life, and you see people get married and have kids, and their kids get big, and, you know, as when we were doing the series, we weren't filming in front of a live audience, so you know, not only do we get a chance now to come out to the Comic-Cons and meet people, and then we get to see one another and do our live panels in front of audiences, and they come up with questions, and we're able to do that and have a good time.
I bet. And now, have you ever had any experience with, like, live streaming or whatnot or anything like that?
Yes.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I know that you do host your own podcast in reference to, like, crypto as well. Is that something that you're still doing?
Not lately. I've been busy doing this and going around to universities and speaking, and soccer games and baseball games, and things are starting to pick up now post-pandemic, or so.
Now, you taught special education and worked in the school system?
I did. I worked at 3 psychiatric hospitals, and then I taught a little bit briefly.
Yeah.
And then I went on to work for the Office of Cable Communications in the city of Chicago.
Yeah.
And then during the AIDS pandemic, I worked for the Office of AIDS Prevention Programming and Policy. And we were able to get a lot of good programs up and running with education, AIDS services, outreach, going into the jails, the housing projects, health education, condom distribution, things of that nature.
That's beautiful.
This is my, as I say, second pandemic.
Yeah.
You know, hopefully it's the last one.
Yeah.
And, you know.
Now, is it being from Chicago, and does that have any importance to you as to why you're so involved in the community and the kind of efforts you just mentioned?
Well, it's just something that I've always done. And I know when I first moved out to LA, there's an organization called Project Angel Food, which is near and dear to my heart. Before I could afford to write them checks, I donated my time and went and cut up onions and stirred in pots and packed meals.
Valuable time, for sure.
Yeah, but once I started working, then it became impractical to go and do that. So now I just write checks.
Now, I know that you briefly touched on the pandemic and everything. My wife is a teacher as well, so I saw the transition through the pandemic. Live streaming and being able to communicate on different things like Zoom, and do you feel it kind of changed the whole approach of how things are interacting now?
It did, but it still doesn't take the place of face-to-face, in-person contact. I talked to a lot of friends who are saying how their kids, they really suffered during the pandemic because they didn't have that face-to-face interaction with their friends, with their teachers, and it did have, a tremendous effect on them.
Yeah.
And, when you've been cooped up in the house, for months on end,
trying to stay busy,
years on end, getting back into a social arena can be a challenge.
100%.
So,
yeah, I know. I definitely found that being with Whatnot kind of taught us that, everybody being at home still meant that everybody still had this desire to still grow as a person? Do you feel like the pandemic gave you that opportunity to grow as a producer, writer, or activist?
It did, and it also gave me the opportunity to realize that I didn't want to be a professional couch potato.
Yeah.
Because after
Talk
sitting
about
at
it.
home and you start eating and, sitting on the couch, when you
Yeah.
get ready to get up and you feel like you are,
Out of breath 3 steps in.
out of breath, just getting up off the couch, it was like, oh my gosh.
Now, I just want to mention one more time, everybody, we do have items going up in the Buy It Now, and a couple of items going up for auction as well. Right now, this Funko Pop out of the box, signed by Leslie on the helmet, is out right now, but you can get the option of having it put back in the box. So we'll send that with the box, but again, it's out of box, it's signed on top of the helmet, okay? So you'll have a chance to own that there. Now, touching on Chicago, I gotta say, I love Chicago, been there a couple times. I know everybody always talks about Giordano's, but let's talk about the real hero of Chicago. It's Harold's Wings.
Yes.
I mean, do you love Harold's Wings as much as anybody coming in there from does?
They are delicious.
You love Harold's Wings too, woman? Oh man, I tell you, we've shared a tray or two here in this team.
But there are so many delicious restaurants in the city now.
Yeah.
And the food scene is definitely something to explore. So if you get a chance, I would say go to Chicago.
Yeah.
Wear your pants with the drawstring in the waist. Called your COVID britches.
Right.
And, there's some good eating to be done there.
Yes, it's more than Giordano's and Harold's.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I'm telling you
lots
that right now.
Lots of restaurants.
We talking Harold's all the time. You know I had to take the opportunity to bring it up. That's a man that loves Harold's right there. So I know that you were talking about a little bit of your time and what you do off camera, being involved in the office, and obviously with the way live streaming has really helped things take off. Do you feel like it's helped you gain a broader audience, maybe even an age range as well?
It has, in the sense that our show, whether you're 9 to 90, people identify with the characters of the show. You're going to run into those personality types at school, if you work in a hospital, if you teach, your church, your sorority, your fraternity. You're going to always run into those types of characters. So that's the universality of The Office and its characters. So we'll be there wherever you are. So.
Right. Now, I know that I had spoken, obviously, with Kate and Oscar earlier today, and one of the scenes that I had asked about was the kiss between Oscar and Michael. Mm-hmm. Did anybody see that coming? Or was that kind of like unexpected
that was
one day?
Part of the improv and the spontaneity of the show, which was the beauty of it.
Yeah.
That people got to explore their artistic side and, push boundaries. And
You mentioned something that is really important, too, that I like to ask is, working around so many people that are trying to have their own creative input into things, do you felt that maybe there was a lot of that, creativity, that maybe there was creative tension that kind of led to another level of the show?
I wouldn't call it tension. I would say excitement. Greg Daniels allowed us to explore and create and just have a good time. And
wonderful.
Was
it fun for you?
It was.
Yeah.
I had a great time.
I bet. A character loved by many, for sure.
He was a fun character. Can't think of anyone I would have wanted to play on the show but Stanley. He
contributed in his best way.
He was awesome. I would,
And you've done a lot of other things as well, obviously, beside that. Do you do voice acting as well? I thought that I saw a couple of things there as well.
I do. I've done Puppy Dog Pals. I've done Tom and Jerry. I did a small part in Lin-Manuel Miranda's Vivo.
Wow, really? Okay, I didn't know that one.
Mm-hmm. There's been a bunch of animated things that I've done. I just finished a movie with Matthew Modine called Hard Miles. I am going to start on a new movie with John Cena and Aquafina in Atlanta in a few weeks.
John Cena?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
And I'm a little busy.
I could tell. What's the convention
I'm going to go
scene?
speak at Purdue University in a couple of weeks, then University of Tampa.
See, I love hearing that. I love to hear that stuff beyond the screen.
Keeps me off the streets.
Yeah, for sure. I get you. Now, being that this is a collector-based platform, but is there anything that you collect as well yourself?
Well, I've got a coin collection and
Coins are huge on Whatnot.
Yeah, so
they've got a really big coin community here on Whatnot.
So that's being done. Other than that, that's about it.
Yeah, that's your bread and butter. That's your go-to.
Yeah, well.
Now, is it collecting or is it hoarding?
And then there's office memorabilia that I have at my house. Yeah.
Is there like a Stanley shelf of the Funko Pops?
Oh, shelf, closet. There's so much stuff.
You can never have enough, right?
You know,
you can never have enough.
Well, you know, it's stuff that I get from fans and. You know, all kinds of stuff.
All kinds of gifts and things like that.
Candles and carburetors and you name it. So
now, being that you were in such a different type of like career lifestyle, you know, before you, what's going on here?
We're drawing blood. Yeah, drawing flies.
Before you got onto the office, what was that transition like from you working essentially a 9 to 5 to being on the office?
Well, it wasn't really too much of a transition because I was doing commercials and plays all the time.
In between still?
No, not in between.
No?
During consecutively when I was working at the city of Chicago. I would leave there and go and rehearse for plays and commercials and all of that too. So I was busy then. So I remember I was fortunate enough to be on a TV show once when I was in grad school completing my master's. And we were working in a newsroom, and they wanted us to pretend that we were working in this newsroom doing office work.
Yeah.
And my marker's drying out. Switch.
Okay, we'll switch that out.
And I was able to work on my master's papers at the same time.
Yeah.
While I was able to work and do extra work, and you know, so.
All right, well, again, just a quick reminder, everybody, we've got these items right now that are being auctioned and other items in the Buy It Now. Get in there, grab your signed memorabilia. I'm sitting here right now with Stanley, Leslie himself, taking time from his convention trail to stop by the Whatnot app for those who couldn't make it to the con. You're live on the Whatnot app. We've got the Scranton hat. It's the company picnic hat. It is up right now. It is signed by Leslie, okay? Just so that you can see that right now. It is signed on there. This is an item that we're auctioning right here, right now. You can have access to this and the items in the Buy It Now. This has got to be a little bit of a new world here, selling stuff and signing it rather quickly. But you do have over 300 people who are fans of you and the show tuned in right now. Any message for people who watch your stuff?
Yeah, why aren't you down here in person?
That's what I'm saying. Spend the money. Get here.
Come on down.
Yeah. So, again, we're items in the Buy It Now, items on auction. We've got Stanley Hudson Funko Pops. We've got Florida Stanley Pops. We've got some beautiful posters that we just signed. Now, remember, we've got Grail signed items where they've been signed by Leslie, Kate, and Oscar today that we'll be putting up for auction next week. Those are going to be some Grail items, triple signed items that you can have access to right here on the Whatnot app. And again, right now, this Dunder Mifflin hat is being sold. Leslie, thank you so much, by the way, for taking the time to come in today.
And
I know
you've got decent markers.
Posca's not bad, right?
Yeah,
you like them? I'm pretty sure Kate stole one, but I don't want to blame her.
Oh, okay. Well, you know, sticky fingers.
Yeah, right. Now, here's one of those triple signed posters that I was talking about. Now, Pam did this watercolor picture of The Office, and you have a chance right now. Triple signed by Oscar, by Kate, by Leslie. All three of them happened right here live on the Fan Expo Cleveland digital show. This is what you want to get your hands on, okay? You want to make sure that you get your hands on this item because, again, all three of them signed. You couldn't make it to the con. We took the work out of it for you right here. You see that we've got this beautiful beautiful picture here. Now, as we getting ready to wrap things up.
He's fast.
Yeah, he's quick. The markers are burning. Actually, I think the orange one ran out already. The orange one is done.
That's right. It's dead to me. Poof.
You've got 3 signatures on here. 3 signatures. What's the convention trail look like for you now coming up? Are you at a bunch of them? Are you at a bunch of the fan expos?
Yeah.
Nice.
He keeps track of all of that.
MegaCon next week too? Not MegaCon, okay. I know that they were talking about the Office Con or something like that. Okay. I know there was a bunch of
about my filming schedule. So
there you go.
I'm supposed to be doing a film, so I can squeeze it in there.
You're busy.
So.
You're busy.
I'm
You're constantly.
busy.
You're making it happen, making it work. I appreciate that. So,
That's
like
it?
I said, we've
That's
got
all the
this.
stuff?
That's all the stuff signed here. So we've got all these items here. signed up. And again, I just wanted to thank everybody for tuning in.
For the hand?
Say that again?
Where's the masseuse for the hand?
That's what I'm saying. I ordered. I've got to talk to Fan Expo.
They must be late.
I was trying to get the bed in here from my back, but
the bed.
They're just I talked to them about how they treat
held up at the front door. Maybe I don't know.
I'm like A-level talent, man. We've got all these people here. We need the masseuse in the hand. But at the very least, we got good pens. We got some snacks over there. So we wanted to say thank you to everybody who's tuned in. Over 300 people tuning into this stream, getting their hands on these items. This sold here. We're going to sell a backup item here now. And again, download the Whatnot app. You're going to get an opportunity to get these items if normally you wouldn't make it to the con today. So you're here at this con all weekend for the rest of the weekend?
I'm here the rest
Wonderful.
of the weekend.
Where can people learn, get more information on anything that you might be working on or might want to bring awareness to?
Instagram.
Instagram's number one place?
Yep. TheLeslieDavidBaker.com. At the Leslie David Baker.
At the Leslie David Baker. There you go. You heard it here. We've got a couple of minutes left here to wrap up. Did you want to say anything else before we got out of here, or it's dinner time already? I'm trying to get out of here too. I'm hungry.
It's dinner time. Look, he's getting weak. He's fainting over there.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, do we? Oh, we got 15 minutes. All right, sweet.
15 minutes.
Yeah. Look, he's like what? He's like, whoa, what's going on?
You got 4.
We got 4 more items to sign, he said, right? We got some items after this. So right now, we have
4 more items?
Leslie Baker signed watercolor print right here that we just put up here. Now, we talked about the office and a lot of those things like that. Obviously, it's a role that you're known for. On the producing side, is there anything that you working on or worked on that you want to bring awareness to?
Like I said,
you write and produce as well, right?
Yeah. I don't know who this is. You know how you get those phone calls from people that, I don't know who these people
are. That's like, I'll give you my number. I'll give you my number. You can call me for sure.
Dial stuff. And he's digging stuff up out of the catacombs.
They're like, man, we got to keep him busy. We got to keep him busy here. You know, you signed really fast, so that's what it was. But we're putting up these items now. And again, you've got an item right here in the Buy It Now. You've got access to these things here. Again, we're putting this up right now? Yeah. Triple signed. Again, the Lego set. You were turned into a Lego.
I know.
Is that cool or is that like creepy?
I've arrived, and then I've got a huge pretzel too.
Pretzel loving.
And that's what people want in life, is a man with a huge pretzel.
I mean, listen, I'm married, so I can tell. I know. I don't want to brag, but you know what I mean? Anyway, do you love crossword puzzles as much as Stanley actually does?
I actually don't.
No.
Sit up and do them. I don't have time to do them anymore.
I was going to say.
But that started, we were in getting ready to do a conference room scene.
Yeah.
Greg Daniels said, bring in whatever prop you feel you would use in a conference room scene. I dug through some drawers, and I found this old crossword puzzle book, and I said, this would be something that Stanley could use, and he would be in the meeting, but not at the meeting.
Yeah.
So, and I delivered my first few lines, with,
just with the crossword
puzzle, and that was it. So,
are we signing some pretzels right now? Is this happening? This is what we resorted to? No, we ain't signing that. No. We ain't signing the pretzels here yet.
So,
I think they thought that I was hungry, so they were that's what it is.
You don't want pretzels. You want some chicken and biscuits.
Stash is fading over here. They're looking over
here. This man is going to fall out on you. Get him something to eat.
Can you not tell my stomach is touching my back here, ladies and gentlemen? Your boy's hungry here.
We got something else. This got 3 signatures
So
on
we're
it.
working on what it is we've compiled these items. We're doing Guerrero level items, and everybody's going in and have the opportunity to buy these triple signed items.
Good.
That's the way the Whatnot thing works. It's a collector.
And if they come down here live, they can still
do the same thing. Yeah, come in and see you in person.
And then they don't get the free marker, of course.
No, right. Like, yes, it's nice. Pascas.
Thank you.
Got to use those there.
Perfect.
Now, before we get to wrapping up here, I know we talked about your convention schedule and everything, and you've got a couple of things in commitment. I always wonder, what's that work-life balance like with somebody like yourself who's so busy trying to achieve your goals in education, clearly, that you've been in, and that was really important to you, but also trying to remain true to being an actor?
You just do what you need to do, and you create the time and the space, and you whatever circumstances I found myself in, I just made it work for myself and
continue grinding.
Take a risk and keep grinding, and when you do what you love, then it works its way out.
Yeah. That's one of the more important things. Make sure you're doing what you love.
Right.
Right? That's why I feel like when I get the opportunity to talk to people up here, that's one of the main things. It's like everybody who's coming in here, it's no magic sauce, right? Nothing was made overnight. Trying to work your way up to being where you're at now on the convention scene. It wasn't an overnight success. So big shout out to you. I appreciate you taking the time to tell me that story, because me, myself, it's one of those things where I'm coming in here, I get a chance to hear more about them. And the angle that I always take is giving people an idea of the person beyond the scene, you know? It's Leslie beyond Stanley, you know?
Beyond Leslie, beyond Stanley. It's, hard work, but it's fun work.
It is fun work.
Get to meet the fans and hang out a little bit, and that's a good thing.
Now, you're not into comic books or any of that kind of stuff. You said strictly coin collecting?
Just strictly coin collecting.
What's like a coin, grail item, like that number one item that people chase, or maybe something you got big in your collection?
Anything made out of gold.
If it's got gold.
If it's old and it's gold,
right,
then it's
stick true to it.
Exactly.
That's right. Do you have an official Dundee at your house?
I have several.
Not the Funko Pop.
I have the real.
You have the real deal.
Dundee.
Maybe next time we'll get Leslie to bring it over here. We'll auction it off. That'll be one of those things. The prized possessions. Maybe not. Maybe I'm reaching a little bit with that one. But that's okay. I'm not even going to be too upset about it. Leslie's taking the time to come here live on the Fan Expo show. I really want to thank you so much again for signing so much. All right, I'm going to do a quick sign off here again. My name is Jay Stash. I'm sitting here with
Leslie David Baker.
The Leslie David Baker. All right. Thank you so much. We're signing off here. Have a great day, everybody.
Bye.